When the final episode of The Sopranos aired on June 10, 2007, viewers expecting a tidy resolution instead encountered a sudden cut to black during a family dinner at a New Jersey diner. That moment, seemingly abrupt and incomplete, became the subject of intense fan debate and critical analysis. 17 years later, the scene still divides viewers. Some are convinced that Tony Soprano met his end, while others believe he simply carries on under threat. To fully understand the finale's meaning and intention, it is worth revisiting the series' legacy and pop cultural impact, as well as a breakdown of the infamous diner ending itself, what occurs on screen, what it might mean, and why this moment stands as a masterstroke of narrative design, as this ending is not just effective, but perfect for Tony, both thematically and narratively. When The Sopranos premiered in 1989, it transformed television drama. Anchored by James Gandolfini's groundbreaking performance as Tony Soprano, the series fused a mafia crime story with psychological introspection, domestic comedy, and moral ambiguity. Tony's duality as a brutal mob boss and a therapy patient seeking emotional balance created a new kind of protagonist. Over 6 seasons, the show examined masculinity, mental health, power, and the corrosion of the American dream through the lens of a family man who happened to be a criminal. Critics and audiences praised the show for its sophistication and nuance. It won multiple Emmy Awards, dominated cultural conversation, and influenced an entire generation of prestige TV dramas that followed. Without The Sopranos, there would be no Breaking Bad, Mad Men, or Succession. Its combination of everyday realism and moral complexity redefined what television could do. Dinner tables, therapy sessions, and backroom hits became metaphors for America itself. The show's cultural influence extended beyond television. Tony's voice, his New Jersey setting, and even the bada bing became part of the cultural lexicon. The series inspired academic studies, memes, and fashion trends. It was one of the first modern shows that demanded active interpretation, asking audiences to engage critically rather than consume passively. But The Sopranos was also divisive. Many viewers wrestled with how to feel about Tony. Was he sympathetic? Evil? Could the show justify his actions while examining his psychology? By the time the final season aired, viewers wondered how a story defined by contradictions could ever end neatly. When Made in America concluded with the infamous blackout, the answer was clear. It wouldn't. The final scene of The Sopranos appears deceptively simple. Tony enters a diner and sits in a booth. He flips through the jukebox and selects Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. Carmela joins him, then AJ. A man wearing a members-only jacket enters the diner, takes a seat at the counter, and glances toward Tony's table. Meanwhile, Meadow struggles to park her car outside. Each time the diner door opens, a bell rings. Tony looks up. The pattern repeats. Finally, the bell rings again. Tony looks up, and the screen cuts to black. Silence. Then the credits roll. On a surface level, nothing overtly happens, but every shot, sound, and gesture is carefully designed to create tension. The repetition of the bell and Tony's glances mimic the rhythm of a heart, building suspense with every beat. The members-only man's movements are tracked more closely than anyone else's, making him the focal point of the viewer's unease. The upbeat tone of Don't Stop Believin' contrasts with the anxiety in the room. As Meadow finally enters, the camera shifts to Tony's perspective, and then everything stops. For years, fans have debated what that abrupt cut means for this haunting scene. One popular theory argues that Tony is killed at that exact moment. The logic is that the screen going black mirrors Tony's point of view. Death comes, and he hears nothing because there is nothing left to hear. This interpretation is supported by how the show frames the final moments entirely through Tony's eyes. When the screen goes dark, so does his perception. The opposing interpretation is that Tony lives. The blackout symbolizes life continuing as usual, full of anxiety and uncertainty. The camera doesn't end Tony's story because his life simply keeps going in that same limbo. The threat never ends. the paranoia never leaves. This version of the ending implies that the scene's tension is Tony's daily existence. Every doorbell a potential assassin. Every diner customer a possible danger. David Chase has famously refused to explicitly explain the ending, leaving fans to debate forever. Another brilliant intentional choice that reinforces the show's bold creative decisions. His silence reinforces the show's central idea that ambiguity is reality. Life doesn't come with definitive answers. The audience's need to know Tony's fate mirrors Tony's own obsession with control. The viewer becomes trapped in the same psychological space as the character. The song choice deepens the scene's meaning. Don't Stop Believin' plays over one of the tensest moments in television history, yet its lyrics carry ironic hope. The song romanticizes perseverance and faith, values that Tony cannot embody. He keeps moving, but his life is built on denial and avoidance.